Hello, hello. Welcome back. Today, we are diving in with a specific question that we had during one of our calls, one of our community coaching calls, and it literally knocked Rhonda and I like sideways. Because some of the tenets that we teach is, or one of the core tenets that we teach is you're the boss, you make the rules, right? And it's easier said than done sometimes because the question is, why am I always feeling behind if I'm the boss?
Oh my God. Hey there, if you like this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so that we can let you know the next time that we drop a new video. So let's get back to it. I hope that just like struck everybody in the heart. I really do. Like, we could just stop the episode right here. That is such a profound statement and such a profound question. So what filters then, if you were the boss, to help you feel not behind, to feel more in control, what are some of the filters that you need to be using right now? Kick us off, Cassie Brown.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's like the reality of that statement is like, hold up, because I kind of had this come to Jesus moment in my own journey, whereas like, why am I exhausted? Why am I making these kind of offers? Why am I launching this way? Whereas like, I'm outlining the offers. I'm outlining the launches, right? So I'm the problem. So I think the first is the awareness of how much power and control you actually do really have over what your day looks like, what your routine looks like, what you allow in your life, and what you start putting up boundaries for. So like it's just the discovery of like, so if you are feeling this way, right? Let's pause and recalibrate. Right. And those are the questions that we're going to walk you through to help you recalibrate. It's usually you have an external expectation of what should or shouldn't be, so where is that coming from? Busy for the sake of being busy, hustling just because everybody else is hustling and that's what you should do. Working 80 hours a week or like starting or like burning the candle at both ends. Like we've all been there. But if it's not where you want to be, you have all of the power in the world to just enough. Enough.
Yeah, I think what law is it? Is it Parkinson's Law, where it says the amount of time you have, you will fill that time? Now, that's me. That's the Cliff Notes version of that. But I think the person who shared the statement, such a profound statement now that we're making an episode out of it, she works full time. And she wants to create a life that she loves because she's not 100% in love with the life where she is right now professionally, right? I think we've all been there, right? I've always said you don't have to have 40 hours a week to work a successful business. It's like how you use that time. So if I give you 2 hours, are you going to take that time just to consume? The difference here, my friends, is like we don't consume a lot. We take action in a very compressed, limited amount of time. That, I mean, that's the secret sauce right there.
Yeah. So I just want to anchor this point. Like, so this is what we want to take you through is some of the root causes. And it's these stories that we're telling ourselves, right? And when Rhonda says consuming, even in Video Marketing Made Easy, like the feedback that we're getting, and one of the challenges that we gave them is stop consuming, start creating, right? So when I looked back on my calendar, I had all of these memberships. I had all of these things. I had all of these other things keeping me busy and filling my calendar, that I was consuming information and constantly like doubting where I needed to be. Oh, this strategy, that, like shiny objects, right? And that was taking over my energy and my attention of execution, right? So the problem here lies in too much information, not enough action.
And then we can move further into, I think this is a great question. I see this all the time. There are paid communities that I am in. And if I'm calling the baby ugly a little bit, they're asking the wrong questions. They are asking a community that could or could not be their dream customer, how their dream customer would act. What if? What if? What should I do? What should I do? Well, what I need you to do right now, what Kaci needs you to do is to go take action, collect some data, and come back. And now we can make a decision. I can recall, so I had two businesses. I had my seasonal event that I had run for years and years and years, and I had the data dialed in. I was starting my online business and I did not have the data. And the problem between the two businesses, the online business, I was like, why am I not confident? Why can I not just confidently make the decision, have the boundary, and move forward? It's because I didn't have the data and really drill down. So if you are in communities right now saying, well, what do you think about, I should ask this question, and what do you think is the logo, and what do you think? Those are all the wrong questions to be asking. What we should be doing is taking that seed, that joy that is your zone of genius, and talking to just one person, having a conversation and collecting the data. I know you were going to say something, Kaci. What were you going to say?
Yeah. So I just want to jump in here because when we find ourselves in the same situation. So I don't want you to feel like you're alone on an island. It's one of those things where we do, yes, there's research. Yes, there's polling like that. There's a whole industry, right? There's a whole industry committed to consumer research, right? Mm-hmm. But they're coming to them with a product, with a service, and saying, how was your experience with it? Right? So make the offer, let the market decide, let the market tell you yes. And they tell you yes by take my money, right? Mm-hmm. And they tell you no by I don't understand what you're saying. I don't really get the problem that you're trying to solve. If they don't see themselves in the problem that you're trying to solve, they're either the wrong market or it's just the wrong message. Okay. It's not always the offer. Okay. So take action, get feedback, get the data points. So break out of the indecision loop, right? Polling will only get you so far. Be willing to put it out in the market. Let the market tell you yes or no, and be willing, right? For all other, searches of the word, be willing to fail and do it quickly so you can adjust and adapt and get up and go again.
Because I think between the two of us, we have 40 plus years of running our own business and having that experience. We can help guide in those data points that you come back with. But to simply just try to answer, you're looking for a magic pill. The magic pill is literally a coffee chat with someone. Truly, it is a coffee chat. And so I love how you said it's not the offer, it could be the message, and it could be the who that you're talking to. So we use those words that they are using during the coffee chat. It's like honey, it's like your gold right there. And when you speak that language and you're talking to the right who, there are no objections. You overcome those objections without even, are there any questions that you have? There are no objections.
Okay. All right. So we've identified two of the outside external pressures of why am I feeling so behind, right? Yep. Too much information, not enough action, right? We're searching for the end all be all, never be wrong. You're going to be wrong. You're going to make mistakes, right? You will never know as much as Google. That was a gift my girlfriend gave me years ago, and I hope you embody it, right? It's just be willing to be the best that you can in your shoes right now. And when you know how to do better, you do better. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the second one was the indecision loop. What if, it's almost like a fork in the road. It's a deeper rut than the too much information, right? Because now we are taking information to a whole nother level where it is well, this person said this person said that, who's going to buy? Let the market decide.
Absolutely. And while she is queuing up our last and final, which I am so excited about talking about this.
Yes.
Let the market decide. One of the very best from a business owner standpoint and my member standpoint was a tech tutorial that I did where I literally said, what are all of the things that you want to know? And the title of each one of those lessons were their exact questions. I was able to use my expertise. It was so much lighter, so much easier. I could stay in my zone and share with them the information that they needed. We think it has to be hard. It does not have to be hard. It needs to bring you joy. You're not going from a corporate job, jumping into the fire over here. We want you, the grass is greener, and we want it to be a place of like creativity and joy and energy. When Cassie and I hop off our calls, like we're literally 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Oh my God. Like it wasn't even the phone. I think Colton, you and I hopped on, it was FaceTime, and Cassie's like, why aren't you recording this? And I'm like, because it's on FaceTime right now, or we were on a Facebook call, whatever that thing was, because I was so excited and just hyped up after we got off that call. That's the way that you need to feel in your business. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. But as I say that, what is the last thing that we want to talk about?
All right. So the last honest truth that we need to explore that could be at the root of why you're feeling this way is, whose dream are you chasing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for so long there are folks, and we do not take away any credit from those who have gone before us and have paved the path and give us just wonderful information. But at some point you have to ask yourself, do I want to work 7 days a week, 10, 15 hours a day, nonstop to get to that end point? To me, I almost kind of like rejected when Cassie was saying, let's do a 3-day work week. Why is that such a novel idea? Why is it such a novel idea? Let's give ourselves some boundaries. Let's have some hard stops. And we are not perfect with this. We are not perfect. This is what we are working towards. And do things like live in our joy, live in our zone, but also like have a life outside of that. We'll always have our work to do. That's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And I mean, I think there's several different lenses to look at this through. And, you know, what used to be important, what used to drive me, doesn't drive me anymore. You know, where it was like when I was in that live launch loop, it was like, you know what, like at the end of the day, if I look at the hours and the stress on my body and the profitability after paying the team and splitting it and things like that, I can be as profitable, but much more joy filled, having extended coffee hours in the keeping room by the fire with my husband and my dad. Mm-hmm. So at that point, that became my dream. That became my measurement. So busy for the sake of being busy, you know, it's the 3-day work week for us. And I was thinking about this as we prepare, because we're going to be doing a workshop on the 3-day work week coming up here. I was thinking it gets to look like however it looks like for what the people there show up to be, right? Their 3-day work week may be 4 half days. Maybe 4 full days, right? Maybe I have a friend who's stepping into 2 days a week, right? And yeah, there's that book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and with systems and processes and team, totally realistic, right? But that's not to say that there aren't other things in our life and our business that fill our cup and bring us joy. It gets to look the way that you want it to look. So for this section in the podcast, I really just want you to dive deeper and be like, where am I setting that mantle of execution? Where am I setting my finish line? And is it even mine, right? Why am I running this race? Right? So for me, I've had several kind of epiphanies on that, where it's like, this isn't my goal. This is a goal that I convinced myself was so important, right? It was feeding my ego. It was, well, this is someone else's definition of success. This is someone else's definition of wealth. They're not paying my bills. They're not married to my husband, and they are not raising my kids. I am.
Well, I think you just put the flag in the sand there. I think that sometimes, and I guess we're coming from a place of experience. I know with my seasonal event, it grew to be such a massive event with such a heavy, heavy price tag that the joy went from like this community and tribe, like pulling together and like running the event to, okay, if I can just generate that $30,000 to pay for this event, I'm good. That's the stress level kind of going into that. And, looking back, it's like, oh, well, this isn't all that I thought it was going to be. So what does that vision look like for you now? That's what we're asking you to paint. And, before what I was saying was that we want you to have joy at the center of that. That's how you should feel. Like if we're feeling joy, then if we're not feeling it now, what does the future self look like? What does your work week look like? And we're all in it to make money. What does that revenue look like? I think sometimes when we get in communities, people raise their hand, it's $1 million, it's $1 million, it's $1 million. To me, that's too big. It's too big of a goal. So I look at what is it truly where I am and what I want to generate. And that's where I focus. And friends, the byproduct is that you'll hit the million, but going there and trying to work your way back, you're going to cycle back into too much info, not enough action. What if, not making offers? And whose dream are you working for anyway?
I don't know if I could sum it up any better than that. So I think I'll just go ahead and close out this episode, Rhonda, because that was, yeah, that was beautiful. It definitely is a lot of years of experience and struggle, like in our own internal mind, like we both still have internal conversations, like they don't end. But these three things that we just covered is just meant to help you find your way out, your way through.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you click the first link in the description, Freedom to Impact, for any of the resources that we've talked about in today's video. You'll also be able to find our Customers for Life podcast. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll talk soon.